I didn't think I was going to last too long, but I thought I'd last longer than like a carton of milk. I just didn't last.
Former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci talking about his short tenure on The Late Show last night with Stephen Colbert. WBZ political analyst John Keller is here with a closer look at what we learned from Scaramucci's appearance. John.
Yeah, Liam, his brief star turn at the White House may have been the first most of us have heard of Scaramucci, but he's been a player in Trump world since the spring of last year. And as we learned last night, that proximity has given him insider insight into the president that he is uniquely willing to share.
Please welcome Anthony Scaramucci.
With everything that's happened since Inauguration Day, one thing we haven't seen is a former Trump aide speaking out candidly about the president until last night. Amid reports that the now infamous many sides equivocation in his initial comments on Charlottesville was a presidential ad-lib, Scaramucci confirmed it was a window into Mr. Trump's thought process.
He should have condemned white supremacism and neo-Nazis.
Why do you think he didn't do that?
Stuff.
Who stopped him from doing that?
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's the president himself. It's almost like a counterintuitive thing with him as it relates to the media. The media is expecting him to do something. He sometimes does the exact opposite.
Wait, just to thumb his nose at them? Wait a second. You're saying that he does something to do the opposite of what's expected of him?
Some of that worked during the campaign because...
But campaign's over. Now he's the president.
I understand that, but he's also out there going out to see his base.
Translation, a genuine transition from candidate Trump to President Trump has yet to occur. And Scaramucci says the Charlottesville gaffe is a sign Mr. Trump has yet to prioritize policy over personality.
He's got to be tougher on that stuff. If he wants his legislative agenda to pass, he's got to move in a more moderate direction. He's got to appeal to people that are independents and moderates.
Now, Scaramucci's remarks were especially telling, Liam, in the wake of today's aggressive return by the president to his original equivocations on Charlottesville. The sense of grievance, the fury at critics in the media, and the inability to suppress it all in service of his broader agenda. Just as Scaramucci described. I think it was right on the money.
Seems like he wasn't taking that advice necessarily. It does seem like whatever it is that the media expects him to do, he kind of likes to do the opposite. It seems to be his play there.
Yeah, as Scaramucci pointed out. But I think he's giving him good advice at the end there, where he says, look, you've got to pick your spots better and bring back into the tent some of those independents and moderates, people who may have voted for you last fall, who you've now lost. Well, he's doing exactly the opposite. You see Republicans peeling off, corporate executives peeling off. Not a good trend line.
We'll see where it goes. John Keller, thank you very much.